All right. You know, since I was 13 years old, I've been using a bandsaw. And so I've always used one. I've always used one to cut things out and do things with. But it seems that a lot of people really don't have access to these things. And so I've had one and always had one. So as we do things, I'm going to try to spend more time dealing with people who do not have bandsaws, and a lot of them just don't, or have a way to cut something out. So we're going to do this from a block, and we're going to do it from the corners of the block. Now, a lot of people, I don't normally do this. I don't normally do something from the corner of a block. I have a guy in our carving group that he carves all of his Santas. He cuts them in half and he carves them all from a block. I don't do that. I don't do that at all. So, but that's okay. I always usually carve mine from this side. And most of them are cut out. I hope everyone is doing well. I know that this freeze has been tremendously bad. Texas has taken a tremendous beating on it. All of our windmills have frozen up. I voiced my opinion on Facebook. I've been in the oil and gas industry all my life, folks, and I mean, you can't beat oil and gas. I'm sorry. I know that we're going through a lot right now, but for heating and cooling and stuff like that, until we can move over to something possibly that could eliminate that stuff. But I tell you, everything in the world runs on oil and gas, just about. So even the windmills do. You got to have lubrication. You got to have protection to do them. So I'm just very, very prejudiced towards oil and gas. So anyway, all right, we won't get into that. But we are really suffering bad here in Texas. We've got a lot of serious problems with the windmills that we bought. They're not running. They're not stopping. So it's depleting the gas that we, had as a backup. All right. The first thing we want to do, we're going to do a little fella. And the first thing we want to do, here's a knife I made. I used maple and walnut. Maple on one side, walnut on it. Isn't it pretty? I love the way it fits my hand. I just do. I love the way it fits my hand. That's why I make most of my own blades. I mean handles, because I love that way. All right, so let's come up about a half an inch, just right there. And let's measure a half an inch about right here. I'm sorry, not a half an inch. I apologize. A quarter of an inch. I don't know why I said a half an inch. Anyway, this is going to be where our shoes are, okay? Right here. Say 3/8. How's that sound? And that's where our shoes are going to be, so we're going to make a cut right there. All right, so if you look from the side here, that is where our shoes are going to be. All right, now I'm going to come from the sides. I'm just going to kind of this has all got to be sort of taken down. Just sort of, just lead off just a little bit. All right, so we've established here, we can do this in the back too. All we're doing is just taking that edge off right there. And you can do it in a few passes, just like that. All right, now if you look from the side here, this is where your shoes are gonna be. Now let's go up here, and we've done this before, from each side. Let's start rounding off that top. There we go. See, just so like that. You just round off that top a little bit. Shaping is all we're doing. Just shaping that top. All right, so we've got that kind of rounded off there. So what we want to do is, let's come about, we're going to make a little hat here, okay? But we have to realize that the hat has got to be, come down this way. So we go to the front, and let's come down about an inch. How's that sound? There's an inch right there. Okay? There's an inch across there. You don't have to be just exact, but close to it. I'm sorry. I meant for that inch to be in the back. I apologize. I'm not thinking. Maybe it's all this cold we're going through. Apologize. Now what I want is the inch to come back here from the back. I'm sorry. That's why I say I'm not usually carving from, I'll tell you what, let's make it 1.25 inches, just right there. There's 1.25 inches right there. Okay? That's from the back. All right? And from the front, we're going to come down, let's say, let me get this up here. Let's say about, hold on, about 1/2 inch, which is right there. And what we're going to do is we're going to join, we're going to come down this way, and we're going to come up like this, and come down like this. So the hat is going to kind of be this way, okay? So what I'm talking about is from this point to here, and from this point to here, we're just going to take a little bit off there as we see. This is going to be the hat. It's kind of be a big little hat, okay? But we're going to bring it down, and then we're going to come from here to here at an angle. Just like this, and then from the back we just come across just like that. And you'll see what we're fixing to do. Now what we want to do is sort of from each side begin to come up on that hat just like that. And we want to bring this and take some more off right here. And take a lot off here and some big chunks here. And what we'll do is we're going to bring this down. See? Okay, see that? Let me come down here and remove a little bit more. We're gonna come up there real strong here. And come up real strong here. And we're going to lower that or bring that down like that. So get the hat like this. And come up strong like that. See, we're flipping the hat, which got kind of a and we even do this toward the front. It just sort of gives it that look. Now see that from the side? See how that looks? All right, just kind of like that. Okay. And let's go a little bit deeper. Deeper back here. See how I flip it up? Flip that knife. Just like that. Okay? Alright. Now the next thing we want to do, we're not going to have any eyes on him, so we're going to come down here and we're going to make a little nose, okay? Just right here. We're going to cut that nose. Just like that. See? And from both sides, we're going to come up like this. And we can cut that nose down, see? And we're going to cut up at an angle like this. And cut that away right in there. Alright? Then, now it's pretty big, but we can take that and we can start bringing it down, see? We can start bringing it down where the nose is just going to kind of come out of there. We're going to come from both sides of it and just kind of cut this deep in here and deep in here. And just shape that nose a little bit. See that? See that from the side? We're just shaping that nose. Okay? Now we can always cut that thing down later. But we've got us a little nose right here. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to, from this point on, we're going to come down here like this, come over, and from this point, from the end here, we're going to make him a little beard, okay? Okay, just like that. See that? I'm sorry if my pencil is not the... From the ends there, I'm going to come down. Let me make it even a little bit wider, okay? Let's just come down here, because we've got plenty of room. Come down here, and let's make that beard a little bit wider, just like that. How's that sound? Okay? So let's take our knife, and let's cut up to the shoulders here, and do the same over here. Cut up to the shoulders, and let's take that wood away from here. See that? Okay. And let's take up from the shoulders. And then, look at that. So let's cut a little bit more. I'm sorry, I gotta get my hands in here. And cut up like that. There we go. Now, we've got him a little beard right there. Okay? Now, when we do that, then the nose is going to have to come down a little bit, as we know. All right. Now, from the sides here, we're going to have our shoulders is going to be somewhere back in here, and we're just going to put his hands in his little pockets right in here. Okay? If you look from the back here, let's just go ahead and make this shoulder all the way back here, and then we're going to come over and we're going to put these hands in the pockets. So the first thing we want to do is we want to come in here and we want to make a cut from this side and make another cut from this side, just like this. And then from this part, we'll make a cut in here where the arms now come to his pants. He's going to be a thin little guy, but that's all right. Okay? And then you come back here and you cut out like this, and you cut the inside, and you got your little shoulder there. And you come back here and you cut a little bit of this out, in other words, and you can make it deeper. But as you see now, you've got your shoulder there. Now we're going to do the same thing over here. You're going to come down here, and we come, and you want to come down about like this, in other words. All right? And come up here. So, let me see. We'll come down here like this. Okay? You kind of look on the other side and see about where that cut is made for this one. So we're going to cut somewhere around there. And that's the back of the shoulder right there. Okay? That's the back of it right there. And then we come down here and we make a cut. And see, this is our back here. And we've got a little, we come somewhere around in here and make our little cut for our shoulder to be, our hands to be in our pockets. Now, as you can see, all right, there you go right there. As you can see from behind here, that is too flat, so that will all have to be shaped in here. Be careful. Just sort of this here. Of course, all this has to be shaped in here. And let's cut a little, just a little